Hi, everybody. Whoops, I kept Westwood on there. I didn't leave him off. Um, what a day. Live at 17 seconds. That's a great way to start, right? Um, Welcome to the show. Welcome to the new normal. It's happy hour. So Friday, happy. We always wear red or have something red or bring your red cup so that we can remember everyone deployed on Fridays. And thank you to all our servicemen and women. Cheers to you and all your family members. Thank you for all that you're doing to keep us safe. We'll be right back after this quick break. I want to really dig into, get everybody on the same page with some announcements coming out on more Twitter file drops from Eliza Blue. There'll be a live spaces tonight exposing some stuff. And then what's going on with the petrodollar? Is it dead? I think she said so. Be right back right after this. Hey, Westwood. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a wild,
This is on Twitter. Your Twitter, it says it's not available.
I'm not available.
Yeah, broadcast is not available. And then I go back to your Twitter feed, though.
How weird.
I can play you and Bix Weir from this week. But this one, I don't know if anybody else sees that on Twitter. It says broadcast is not available on mine for Lisa's.
And on my software on this end, it says that it's got a green light and that it's fine.
Scammy. Let me look on YouTube. Yeah, I see us on YouTube, but not Twitter.
What's up, little blue bird?
I don't know. Just saying. Maybe it's just me.
That's really weird.
Shadow viewed. Can't view.
Oh, I can see it in the...
Can you?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. I wonder if anybody else, can you see it? What, the Twitter video?
Maybe because it's my account, I think I can see it. This is how shadow banning works, guys, is that you think that you are...
Here's Lisa's...
But that's what the public is seeing.
Yeah, this is the stream. Lisa's like, everybody's watching me and I'm getting no views. I don't understand why.
Why is nobody watching? Oh, because you can't see me, because Twitter has me shadow banned.
That's crazy. Yeah, it just says the broadcast is not available right away. I mean, it just went boop. So, I don't know.
That's weird.
Just throwing it out there in case somebody's trying to watch on Twitter or can go to their Twitter feed or Lisa's Twitter feed and see if that video is available. Us right now, live on Happy Hour. A little after 4 p.m. Central Time.
It's a little weird. Yeah. Westwood, pay your Twitter bill. Daddy-O says.
Pay your $8.
Yes. At Lisa. Oh, no, not Lisa Might. There's a Y in there, Chris. Lisa Mighty Davis.
Yeah. At Lisa Mighty Davis.
GHTY Davis. So close, but no cigar.
Cigar? Somebody say cigar?
Did someone say cigar?
Yeah, Pavlovian cigar smoker. All right.
So it's been a great week for me.
I know you've been all over.
Really having like some amazing shows and part of some great conversations and really learning a lot. I hope everybody's been watching. On Monday, Bix Weir came on and we had a great talk about, the Sam Bankman-Fried thing. And he helped me tie a few things together that I didn't know that are in the history of crypto. And we got into the connection of Tether and Alameda, which kind of goes into, so Reggie was just posting today and he posted it in LinkedIn. I don't know that he posted it on Twitter. He may have, let me double check, but he was saying that Coinbase is trying to throw Tether under the bus. And everybody's talking about, so what's trending right now is this proof of reserves. Because all of a sudden people are like, wait a minute, what do you mean FTX didn't have any money in there?
What do you mean they had no Litecoin?
What do you mean? Yeah.
How could such a thing be true?
Which I think it's very interesting, the choice of words, proof of reserves. Who else is the most well-known reserve that we know of?
The unfederal, unreserved. Yeah.
Ding. You are the winner.
Yeah.
So I think this is part of, more waking up the people. I know you got your popcorn ready today.
I do have my popcorn ready.
Yeah.
Made
And
fresh.
made
With coconut
fresh.
oil, not seed oil.
Oh, very, very good.
Old school. Good stuff.
Let me see. Who was I looking for? Let's see if I had that tweet I could share where they show him through. Oh, the SEC also refuses to prove its holdings.
Got some big stuff coming. Hey, maybe an
Hold
emotional
on.
spike coming next week.
Might be an emotional spike. I think over the weekend we're going to have some information. Crypto never stops. It's 24/7. Wall Street, always, the legacy bankers could always kind of manipulate things and this is also why I think we may see either an assassination or the death of someone very high up, because when that happens, typically they shut down all markets for so many days.
Especially if it's a U.S. official.
Right.
Official.
So, yeah.
Come on.
Resident,
language.
Whatever. Yeah.
Official.
It is laughable. Like when
you gotta laugh.
I
really.
mean, yeah, even
Once
though
you
it's,
understand it.
kept us slaves and destroyed lives and families and businesses.
I know.
One of our good friends in our Team Mighty fam, his business has been affected here locally in Oklahoma and got shut down. And I sent him a message and just said, man, I'm standing with you and sending you prayers and love and light. And we're going to get through this time. And, but
yeah, we will. We're born for this time. I think we chose to come here now. So we're fulfilling our destiny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, destiny. Where am I? What page am I on? Okay, I'm over here. I have too many tabs open. I apologize.
Tabbing it.
Oh,
can I have a tab?
Goodness.
What's a tab?
A tab.
Can I have a tab? Remember Back to the Future? Can I get a tab? What do you mean you get a tab? Anyway. What a Pepsi free.
Yeah, I don't even order anything yet. How are you going to get a tab?
Yeah, exactly.
So Reggie's calling out the SEC for their proof of reserves because they have a wait. Is he saying it's the SEC or is he saying that
Jesus, check
it
this
says
out.
SEC registered investment purports to hold 11 billion of Bitcoin but refuses to prove its holdings?
Okay, I don't think it's the SEC.
So not the SEC.
He's talking
saying
about
they're registered with
the
SEC.
An SEC registered company claims this. See, that's the hypocrisy of the whole thing. I mean, when they sanction something, it's usually a criminal enterprise. I mean, and if they're against something, it's usually because you're in competition with the criminal enterprise. And so they have to, if you look at it through that lens, everything makes sense then. You're competing with the government. So, got to have a war on drugs because you don't want to compete with the government because that's where they make a lot of money.
But it refuses to prove holdings. Trust units are trading at 49% discount to Bitcoin, as other companies under Digital
Currency Group? Umbrella.
Refuse to return customer funds. Bitcoin storage apparently infringes.
Who's he talking about in the image here? Can you move that?
I think it's DCCG. Okay. How cold storage transactions clearly infringe. And so...
Interesting.
Since he says Reggie was awarded the patent, they call it the 566 when we're talking about these things. And then in Japan, it's the 477, covering conditional value transfer through a decentralized currency. Institutional cold storage transactions clearly infringe this patented foundational technology. Client 1, such as a smartphone, notebook, desktop, server, or connected embedded device. And then there's digital currency, decentralized digital currency as a transmission mechanism. Ethereum, Solana, XRP, BNB, Matic, etc.
Litecoin's not on that list, so I'm good.
No. Data sources, multi-factor authentication. And then it says computing device acting as a facilitator for the transactions, validators, nodes, servers, handhelds, desktops,
Gotcha.
etc.
Not
And
a
then-
peer-to-peer transaction, basically something
Right.
in the middle that facilitates that technology transfer.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so that's where they infringe.
Gotcha.
And then to the client too.
Cool. That's a big deal. I mean, that the patent covers a lot. I mean, it sounds like, and some people in a world of hurt here coming up, probably.
I think you are correct.
Mm.
Here's where he was talking about Coinbase. Coin throws Tether under the bus, implying that USDC is safer. When he's like, facts, Circle has a ongoing concern warning from its auditor. A going concern warning from its auditor. Coinbase is deeply junk rated. Check credit shows severe distress. Both companies have based their operations upon unlicensed patented tech. Also, there's an announcement this week that they pulled their plans. Coin pulled their plans to go public, citing bankruptcy issues.
Oh.
So.
Coin is public, though. Who are we talking about?
Coin is USDC.
Okay. Yeah, I think the ticker for Coinbase is Coin. They are public now.
Hold on, let's find out.
Through it because it confuses
Coin.
me.
I thought Coin was USDC. Maybe one is a ticker and one is a.
Well, it could be. Coin might be another outside of the stock market.
So yeah, I think Coin is the stock market and like
the ticker
USDC
for Coinbase.
Is that right? Am I saying that right?
Coin is the ticker for Coinbase on the stock exchange. I know that. Now it might mean something else outside of the stock exchange.
Is their coin, which is Circle.
Circle's anointed one.
Mm-hmm.
USDC.
And they're all,
which is tied to this Coinbase, which is, it's a big circle, digital currency group, all those. And that's what I always thought. If there's going to be like an anointed coin, that they roll out and say, oh, this is like the migratory path to the CBDC. I always thought it'd probably be the USDC. But again, I may be simplifying it. It could be something totally different. And now for something completely different.
So the other point of this is, oh gosh, there's so much to talk about today. So
the watch. We'll have to talk about the watch at some point that Zog won from Coin Vigilante too.
Did he win it?
Yeah, he's the one that won it.
Awesome.
Legend Zog. And he's got a Coin Vigilante watch. I got a Litecoin watch.
Yeah.
From Coin Vigilante.
I have my Litecoin watch.
Love it.
I should have worn it today. It would have looked good with my black and red.
Well, everything you wear looks good with whatever you wear.
Sweet. You're so
Just
sweet.
saying. What you drinking, Lisa?
I'm in a little Tito's and Zevia.
Tito's and Zevia. What flavor?
Grape.
Grape again. Yeah, you like the grape?
Well, that's all I can find.
That's all I got.
Shortages.
So I love it. There are shortages. There are a lot of shortages. I saw today the latest scare is we've got a triple demic of, I don't know, what is it, RSV, the C, and then some other, I don't know, the flu. And now we have a shortage of amoxicillin, though.
But now we're having shortages of arms because they said, put one in your right arm, put one in your left arm.
That's why you got two arms.
Shove one up your nose.
That's what the one dude
where
said.
Else you're going to put it.
The doctor. Yeah, that's why your God gave you two arms. Whatever.
These people are sick.
They're messed up. And they laugh. That's what gets me. You look at them, they're smiling and laughing at you when they're up there, grinning and smirking. Ugh. Anyway, so trust yourself, not them.
Yeah. So, but Jack, I'm going to let you say his last name.
Oh, Prosobiec? I think it's is it Posobiec or Prosobiec?
I don't know.
It's
He's a nice Polish boy, but I can't pronounce his name.
Prosobiec.
Anyway, he either put it out as a tweet or on Telegram, but a lot of times he'll do them, whatever. I don't know where I saw it. But he said, before any renovation, there has to be demolition or something to that effect. And I was like, oh, this is it. We're destroying the petrodollar first, which there is a whole theory that the good guys would go inside the Fed and have them print to oblivion and make the ultimate bubble and pop.
It's the road to Ruta theory, isn't it?
I believe so.
I think it
is. You can read that on Bix's channel at roadtoruta.com.
Yep.
So there's also G today, which
the Chinese president,
really
right?
Frustrating. Yes.
G. X-I. X-I. X-I.
Yeah. My
when he taxes you, it's an X-I tax. Anyway.
Good Lord.
I know, right?
Okay.
Continue. I'll shut up.
No, you're fine, but you're funny. Now I don't know which I have too many Twitter accounts. Because I have like one for Mighty Siren, I have one for Team Mighty, I have one for
got my troll account.
all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Mighty might be on this one. No, it's not on this one. Dang it. Okay, well, I'll be able to find an article. Anyway, Xi met with Saudi Arabia yesterday.
Look out.
And he told them to, let's see.
He says, we have the gold, you have the oil. Let's make a deal.
Yes, basically. Thus, oh, that's where I saw it was Gold Telegraph. I can go there and just find theirs. It'll be easier than trying to. It was on Gold.
Like a little wee beastie scotch today.
Telegraph. I think that's it. Apparently not. Maybe it's just Gold Telegraph. I'm struggling.
On that struggle bus.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the producer price index surprised today. It was up a whopping 7.4% month over month, and 0.3 or 0.4%, or I'm sorry, that was year over year. Month over month, 0.3 or 0.4. So basically, 7.5% inflation at the producer side. So that's obviously going to flow through to this consumer side. And inflation's not going away, folks. It's baked into the cake. They printed trillions. So there's no taking that genie and putting it back in the bottle.
Yeah. So Xi told the Gulf nations to use the Shanghai Exchange for yuan energy deals. So this is very interesting. The comments on that were pretty incredible. There was
comments are always the best.
Yeah, people were talking about, well, except for the military backing the US dollar. And then somebody else was like, oh, but does this mean the US dollar? What happens if the US dollar becomes backed in gold? And
that's an oxymoron. How can a debt-based dollar, as it currently exists, be backed
so we
by
don't
gold?
use the debt-based dollar. The petrodollar, the Fed dollar dies. The destruction happens. We have to have the destruction first.
And we go back to the real dollar, which is based on silver, the real.
Constitutional dollar, yes.
Yeah. All right.
Which
Pieces of 8.
Yeah. And that's what, when Bix told me that it was based on the Mexican peso, I was like,
It was like the Spanish real, and that was the Mexican peso. That was all kind of the same thing, because it was based, it was silver, and then they call it pieces of 8 because usually you can divide it in like 8 different, there's an 8 involved with it, and you can take a piece off and break it off, and whole thing. Yeah.
Very cool.
Go research it, everybody, if you're interested.
Search it up.
Search it up.
So there's so much good stuff happening. And then I did a quick show on Thursday with Mom. She came on and we were talking about the gold dollars that are coming out with the Native American gold dollars.
Sacagawea.
Yep. The Sacagawea coins, which on the back now they're having they had the 5 moons thing. Do you know about the moons associated with World War I? And that movie Amsterdam, I started watching it, but I fell asleep last night.
You're gonna have you just can't get enough information all the way.
I know.
Killing me.
It's terrible. Like
I don't. You're gonna have to fill me in on this.
Okay, so Sean was telling us Thursday morning on World Blockchain Roundtable about this movie called Amsterdam that the kids watched with him on, because he does a family night on Wednesday nights. And he was like, oh my gosh, there's and I can't remember if the moons were good guys or bad guys, but somehow the 5 moons is involved in that because I remember him saying that specifically. And then I see this gold coin come out, and it has the back side of it is these 5, I believe they're Cherokee ballerinas that were known as the 5 moon dancers.
Were they whirling dervishes? Because that translates over into the Middle Eastern thing. And then, anyway, that's a whole other, but it could tie in.
Tutus. They had tutus on. I don't know if you'd consider that a whirling dervish, but anyway. But I thought that was really interesting. And then, Bix has been talking about how they have capacity to print the silver eagles, but they just haven't been. And so I don't know. I think there's just, like I said, a lot going on.
Another Oklahoma connection, the 5 moons. Did you read that up?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you.
I know. I didn't hear the Oklahoma thing, and I'm trying to figure out.
I thought you
all
assumed. Because Cherokee Nation is in Oklahoma.
Well, but the Cherokee Nation was like in Georgia or something, wasn't it? And then they got shoved over to Oklahoma.
Well, maybe originally, but
yeah. So let's dig back a little further. There's the Russian connection, Georgia. See, Georgia, Russia. It's all connected. Yes. Ark of the Covenant was in Russia, and then they had the revolution. Anyway, I'm not even, just don't listen to me. I get too much going on in my mind.
Congrats to Zoggy on the Litecoin Watch win from Coin Vigilante. That was very cool. Love it. I love it.
It's so hard. It's like, I don't know how the weathermen do it, and weather ladies. I don't know how they do it because, you got, no, it's over here. I mean, you got to point the right way, and, all the ISO bars and the fronts coming in. And,
I like it. Oh. And then last night I got to go on with on Jean-Claude's channel with Snippy and Bix. And I thought they were going to battle me out, because they always kind of push back on my
owned it.
Conspiracy theory
Laid
stuff.
It down.
Thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
just putting it out there, and they're just like, okay, yeah. And they're shaking their, nodding their heads like, okay, yeah.
Because I guess when somebody tells you stuff for long enough and then it starts coming true,
right?
They start to believe you.
Yes. Well, you're just going out, and I mean, what I love about you, one of the things I love about you is that you're not afraid to put the pieces together and just put it out there. It may be wrong, but I mean,
maybe
like you said,
everyone can think for themselves.
Yeah, I'm feeling it, and this is what I'm seeing, and I just, I got to get it out there and put the, I'm seeing this tie to this and that, and and you put it out there, and I mean, it's starting.
I even forgot to say some of the things.
Oh, there's so much. I don't know how you remember it all.
I was tying all my little pieces together, and then I was like, oh, I forgot this part, and I forgot that part. And then my husband was like, well, you can talk about that later. And then I'm like, oh, now I forgot what I forgot to say.
I hate that. I do that all the time. I need somebody to walk around and write stuff down and record me, because I lose it. It's gone.
Well, that's why my Patreon is so important to me, because as I'm doing research or things I'm coming across,
blurt it out there.
I put it on Patreon so they're learning with me, or they can have an opportunity to see that information and process it themselves too, and put that all together. Because we didn't even get to the gold coins. Well, maybe we did get to the gold coins. Yeah, I think I did, because then I said they could use the code like what Bix was talking about on the bottom of the you guys remember when the notch. So last summer
when they transferred over in 2021.
Yeah,
I think it was 2021. They had 2 different Silver Eagle coins. They had the old school coin, which I have in my pocket, by the way. It's worn down all to heck. I mean, the back had the eagle looking that on it.
Oh, wow. That is really worn down.
Yeah, I know. Because here's the thing. When I go somewhere, my mother-in-law used to be, I'd have to take her to the hospital and doctor's appointments all the time. I'd always carry a gold coin, and I'd have it in my pocket. And every time I'd go into a hospital or something,
it was your worry stone.
I'd be rubbing it. Now it's actually because it's got the antiviral properties.
You're healing yourself.
Yeah, I'm rubbing my hands on it because I'm telling all this nastiness in the hospital I don't want to be a part of. So anyway, I keep that with me. I keep a copper one too to keep the giants from eating me, but it's a whole nother thing. But because I'm a tasty dish. But But no, what happened in 2021 is they went from that old school back, the reverse, to the other eagle, which was, you might be able to pull it up, like almost.
It's like landing or something.
Yeah, it's a whole different process. The one here looks like a phoenix, and you can make that argument that it's actually not an eagle on the back of coinage; it's a phoenix, which would be an interesting thing. You get the Economist magazine cover in 1988, that kind of stuff. Who knows? But what happened in 2021 is the Silver Eagle program, they changed over from that back in mid-year to the new back. And so all the Eagle coins have the new back now. But in that process, there was a notch at the bottom of the eagle, the Silver Eagle. And Bix, and you have gone into it, that means something. That could be, and that's where you got to pick that up.
Yeah. So then we were talking about, Bix had suggested that what if there's some kind of, I don't know if it's a QR or if it's, Mom suggested, she said, they're talking about doing this, having diamond dust as part of identity or something. I don't know how that plays out or if that's going to be part of it. But this is the new image right here on this one. That's the front and that's the back.
Yep, that's the new one.
And it's kind of wild. That's so funny because that looks like that bird after my dad died that came and sat.
No coincidences, Lisa, ever. It almost looks like a moon landing almost in a way. You look at it that way, or it's landing on something, or it's, I don't know, it's getting something and grabbing something.
Bringing that branch to the...
It could be
and
that.
That's what Bix had talked about. It's like bringing that branch to fill the nest.
Building a foundation, the safety, the protection, and Jenny Moonstone having warbird dreams, and Mick seeing all these warbirds at the winery over Thanksgiving, and all these connections. And
that's crazy. That's
I know wild. Eagles and hawks everywhere, and
I love it. It's good stuff.
The thing is, you go back to early on when all the white people came over here to North America. For the multiple times, but the time that we're taught in history that they came over, 1600s, and the Puritans, and they came over here, and their belief was, all your answers were in nature. So they'd see a bird wrestling a snake, and if the bird won, that would show God's power over and dominion over the evil. And so they would look to nature for signs that, hey, they're telling us things. God is working through nature because He is nature. It's all around. His spirit flows through everything, including us. But you would be able to see those things in nature, and it would teach you, lessons and, road maps and road signs, I should say, along the way, and you should pay attention to them. So anyway, I'm just going off on a tangent, but that could be one of those signs, that
could be.
They're putting in front of us because we don't look at nature anymore, so we got to have it shoved in our face.
And that goes back to the, we don't look at the stars anymore, but so many of the early kind of cultures. And if you think about think of how powerful the Native Americans were as far as being tied to the land,
touching the land, barefoot,
watching the stars, and the way their tribal community was set up to take care of the generations and to learn from the elders and all that. And then the evil ones came in, destroyed them. It tried to erase as much of their history. We're missing tons of our history and culture in America because it has been erased on purpose, and there's knowledge in that.
I had a note of that. And I think you and Nana were getting into that, but you look at I don't know if it's necessarily Tartaria, that kind of stuff. But if you look at America Unearthed, and I think you mentioned something about that in a different video. Scott Walter. He's a Freemason. I mean, he is. So I don't know, what his agenda is, but it doesn't matter to me. But what he does, he's an archaeologist, and he had a show on the History Channel for like 3 seasons, and he would go all over the place and put connections together. And he came to he's from Minnesota, but in America, there were a couple of places he went. I don't know if it was in Arizona, and then in Michigan, there was another place to where, the evidence was there that we had people coming over here mining copper in northern Michigan, way up in the Upper Peninsula, as early as, before 1000 AD. Before anybody was supposedly here, from the other continents. And and there's evidence of the Chinese in California being here, hundreds of years ago, 1,000 years ago. And then there's evidence of Europeans coming in Arizona. I mean, again, way before we thought anybody, according to the textbook, settled here. And so, I mean, there's all this, I mean, the real Egypt, the real, land between two rivers is in southern Illinois. I mean, in between like I think it's the Illinois River and the Mississippi River. Look at southern Illinois. The most southern town in Illinois, and I've been there, and it kind of gives you a weird feeling. It's called Cairo, but it's spelled Cairo. And there's all these, there's all these, and it's right there at the convergence of the Ohio River, the Mississippi River, and because there's Kentucky, there's Illinois, there's Missouri, and you can stand on the tip, the point, and and that used to be, I think Ulysses S. Grant had, it was like his northern, like command base, at some point. And then you look at American Gods, which is a book series that is on Stars. And one of the big themes is these gods, in human form, go and meet at Cairo, Illinois. And it's just, there's all these connections to where it's like, it's almost
What's the name of that guy again? Because I was thinking of this Ancient Apocalypse series that I watched, but that's a different guy. That's Graham Hancock.
Yeah, this was America Unearthed. It's called, and it's Scott Wolter, Wolter, and Rice has interviewed him before. I know that, and I mean, there's so many things. He actually goes and does the archaeology on it. And he's like, hey, people have been here, and there's this connection that's going through history, and I'm unearthing it. And it's a pretty interesting series to watch.
On Pluto, which is free to watch.
There you go.
It says I already watched it. How crazy.
You probably did.
I am a woman obsessed with information.
That's a good one, though. If you're gonna watch a series, I mean, America Unearthed is just a good one to watch. It really is, because it tells you so much about history in America that you didn't even know. And it's like, nobody's talking about it.
Great Lakes Copper Heist.
That's the one I was talking about. Yeah. Yep, right up there. And then there's there's several of them, but yeah, you should go watch them. I mean, it's really, it makes you think. I mean,
like this is probably, hold on, this is probably a com.
Did you get an ad? Mm-hmm. What is it? What's the cipher?
He said I'm a widow of business, so I don't know what movie this is from.
Widow of business. Huh. And then you look at the mounds along the Mississippi River. There's some in Ohio too, but there's the Cahokia Mounds, some of the biggest mounds, and I mean, man-made mounds. I don't know if ever, in North America. I'm not sure, but there's all along the river. There were these civilizations, and it's like, what were they doing? What was really going on here? And nobody talks about. Oh, they're just burial mounds. That's what burial mounds. That's what everybody talks about. But it's like, I don't know if that's the whole story, bro.
It's from the movie Scrooged. Yeah, I think that's definitely not the whole story. The mounds and all that, because on that Ancient Apocalypse one,
that's the one you've been watching. Yeah,
that's the one I've been watching. They were showing how you could see, the phases of the moon from the way the mounds were, and the Indians used it to know almost like a calendar.
Yeah,
maybe for farming or for whatever,
or just reconnecting with the source, with nature and God and all of that. And just, I mean, you got to go watch America Unearthed, because it does tie in a lot of this. I mean, some of these ancient artifacts, and it's like they align with Stonehenge, and and at the certain time of the year, like you said, it's just perfectly aligns, and the light shines through this little hole, and you're like, okay, what knowledge did they have that I would like to make like a sundial out here made out of concrete, but I'm like, I don't even know how I'd even start doing it, because
let's make it. Let me and your little one and your big one. She'll be home this summer. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Donna and I would have fun with all that. It'd probably be pink. It might end up being pink.
What are we talking about? A pink sundial?
Yeah. Well, you could do some kind of mosaic, or make it like a garden or an art thing.
I agree. I mean,
and it could also be, it could also be a sundial.
Yes.
But it could absolutely be pretty.
And then we could like put all kinds of things in it. And anyway.
Yeah.
All that stuff is out there. and we just overlook it. Just like that one thing that you have in Oklahoma there. What is it, in Tulsa, maybe? To where it's got that sound thing. What is it?
Yes, the
What's that
center
thing?
of the universe is what
Yeah,
it's called.
what happens when you go there? What's it do?
So I still have not been, which is so bizarre to me. I can't believe I haven't
Maybe
stopped when I'm
soon.
there, but my babies are there, so I'd rather spend time with my babies
That
than
makes
some
sense.
weird sound thing. But
Yeah.
so supposedly you get in, you stand in this certain spot, and you can hear yourself, or you can scream as loud as you want, but no one can hear you, like a couple feet away.
I don't know what it is. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I always forget
it's
because I'm inundated
the
with
center of
garbage
the
from the vampires. But yeah, there's something special there.
universe.
Center of the universe.
Tulsa.
And then you look at the pyramids. What is it?
And now
in
more and
Mexico.
more things like that are being uncovered with the drying of the Euphrates. You guys check out the information
And the
about what
Mississippi River's dried up, and a lot of artifacts and boats and different things have come
and
up.
these crazy sounds are coming from under the earth in the Euphrates.
Angels, demons locked up.
That's what they say. They say that God
That's what they
locked
said. They were
away
bound. They were
the
bound
Nephilim,
there.
or was it the Nephilim?
I don't know if
there?
it was them or the actual bad angels, which aren't really
what are they
the
called?
same, I don't think.
I can't remember.
The protesters, I guess.
Wait, that's going to be us, isn't it?
The defiant ones. Yeah. Stubborn
Yeah,
ones.
you guys make sure to go follow Mitchie's Motivational Monday channel.
Is he in the chat?
on,
Mitchie's in the chat.
Yes, he's in the chat.
Mitchie's doing a giveaway again. Or I shouldn't say giveaway. No, he's doing his Mitchmas, and he's trying to help out people in need. And there's a candidate in need. I know who it is. It is legit. I have vetted it. And go check out Mitch on his channel. Surprised Mitch isn't here. I don't know where he's at. But yeah, go check out Mitch and what you can do to help people who need a hand up.
Interesting. I was reading in the something Tom was posting in the comments about nuclear mushroom cloud.
Come here. I feed them popcorn to shut them up.
Oh.
The dogs are.
That makes a happy dog. Yeah.
Dogs like popcorn. I'll be blowing up later.
Also thinking of the
Hollow Earth, yeah.
Yeah. Thinking of the this weekend and upcoming, I think it's the 13th through the 15th that Uncle Cliff said there was going to be, is it building emotional tensions or release of emotional tensions?
It's a lot of tension going on. It's
a lot of tension. But a big something is happening. So we're leading up to this weekend. We know there's a lot of information dumps on weekends. People are home and all that. And then something maybe triggers on Monday and Tuesday.
It's probably happening now, and we don't know it. And then the actual visibility of it and the freak out happens in the middle of next week. Right. Whatever it is. But he called the FTX thing, and this is supposed to be much greater than the reaction that happened to that. So it's like he can tune in, I should say, on the emotional reaction, but it's like hard to put your finger on exactly what causes it.
And how high it will be. Yeah.
But be prepared.
I could guess. So right after this show, if you guys aren't on Twitter, you might want to consider getting on Twitter, and I might try to see if I can stream it, or maybe we can stay on and I can figure it out after. At 5:00, Eliza Blue is posting a Twitter Spaces, and she's been told that, or she's been contacted by Elon Musk, and this is the biggest
Eliza Blue. What's the handle on Twitter?
At Eliza Blue.
At Eliza Blue. Okay.
BLEU. And she's a human trafficking survivor advocate. I've been following her for a long time and help share some of the messages that she tries to get out. There's a tentative time for the spaces. Now they changed it to 9:00. Okay.
Lord. Okay, it's Eliza BLEU, and she's got like a white hair with sunglasses on her. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Kind of looks like the Wall Street Bets guy.
A little bit.
With white hair.
All right. Following. Turn on notifications. And I'm good to go. So not till later. Gosh, now I got to hold out and not drink too much.
So just to give you an idea, Yeah, that's where Elon said he would pop in, and Jack is welcome to attend and speak about what happened under his leadership. This has not happened under Elon's leadership, but here's just one example that she shared, that a 13-year-old minor survivor begged Twitter to remove a video sexually exploiting him. Twitter reviewed the content and said no. Then
They're like,
they had his
nah.
government ID showing that he was a minor at the time. The video got over 160,000 views and over 2,000 retweets. Just a bunch of sick people.
Mm-hmm.
But no accountability. But then what they're saying they're going to show is that they knowingly had this kind of stuff, maybe even help promote or share. Who knows? I don't know what's going to
Or
come
we're
out.
complicit in it because of their connections and
Yeah,
after
knowingly
parties.
being a platform that knowingly is having child exploitation being sent around on it. But they're busy having committees and whole working groups at Twitter, sleeping on couches and eating sushi and whatever. They're so busy and tired because they got to suppress Dan Bongino
Right.
and Lisa Mighty Davis
Yeah.
and
And everybody else. No,
all of us.
that's what it is though. And it all, I don't want to say it goes, you know, I don't want to, it's not a partisan thing. It's really not, because when you look at all the scandals, all the abusive situations that have occurred over time, they're all involved in it. It's just
Mhm.
some are more involved in it, but hopefully it all comes out. And the interesting thing I saw in the Jack Dorsey had made the comment in response to Elon Musk, why not dump it all right now? You know, if you've got all the information, just dump it all. And I thought, well, holy
Because
cow, this is
if
from
he
Jack
dumps
Dorsey.
it all,
Right.
then too much for people to ingest. People
Yes.
get
And then
lost
it gets
in it and
buried.
don't really find it.
It
It
gets
gets buried.
buried. You
And
need,
that's what my
remember,
promoted tweets that I've been sending you that show the
yep,
puppy feeder and it makes them go through the puzzle to slow down and eat slower.
yep.
That's
You
what
got to let them
that promoted
internalize.
tweet is about. They were trying to message, hey, we're going to let this out
You just got this
slowly.
one? This is
This
a tweet you just got that you were talking about, or is this
that
one
I'm
that,
explaining, yeah, I've been getting it
okay,
for
you've
like
been
the
getting it.
last week.
Okay. But it's true. And you're
I
right
thought I
on
sent
it.
it to you.
You might have. I'm inundated. I can't function. Um, but that's exactly true. And so it's important to slow roll it out to where people can digest it. It's like you get like exactly you feed the dog and just eat it, and then they throw up
Mhm.
and then they walk away and you
Well,
know
think
come back and
about
eat their vomit.
Wikipedia has been dumped and opened, but people, it's too much information to go look at.
It
It's
is.
too much to, I mean,
You
I
got to make
spent,
it exciting, like a movie, like Batman. Remember Batman and Robin? The cliffhanger. Tune in next time, same bat time, same bat channel. And I mean, it's the cliffhanger. And so you got to do the same thing because people at this point are so inundated with information, so brainwashed, so dumbed down their whole lives that they need to be like a dog. I mean, all of us do. I'm part of it too. We all are. Like a dog, you got to be enticed. And it's like, you know,
care
and
about
just ready to go. And you just a little bit, and you keep them excited, you know, so they're like, oh my gosh, holy cow, you know, on the edge of your seat. So you're paying attention. So you're paying attention because all of this has already been out there. You know, you had what was it? Well, Hillary Clinton was in charge of, you know, Secretary of State, and you have the scandal of, well, you know, yeah, there might have been some young kids involved, and oh yeah, remember the prostitutes, you know, with the Secret Service, you know, and Clinton
Yeah.
or Obama, I mean, all this stuff, and George Bush, Senior in the White House, young boys, Obama, you know, and all this stuff has been in your face. It's just been kind of buried. Well, now it's really in your face, and the truth is coming out with the information. You're going to be able to see it, and you're going to be able to see it, you know, so where it can't be just shoved under the rug because there's too much information, because we all suffer from too much information. But, you know, hey, aren't we all on the edge of our seat waiting for the next installment of the Twitter files?
I think so. I think it's going to
Aren't
be
we?
a Merry Christmas, and we're all going to have lots of movie time with our family.
You've been saying that. I mean, you called it.
I'm so excited for the truth to come out, for children to be safe, for us to all be free, and for us to go to a constitutional dollar, constitutional money. And I'll try to cut a couple clips of that video, the interview with JC and Bix and Snippy, because they really let me
Go
go. And
watch
then I
it.
was like,
Y'all need to go
okay.
watch it.
But then
Go
I did
watch it.
leave a couple things out.
That's all right, though. I mean,
That's okay. We can share those here for our channel,
yeah.
for
All
our
right, drop
community.
those nuggets right here.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you did a good job, I thought. You
Thanks.
definitely, no, you did. Did a great job.
Well, there were
putting it all
some
out there.
amazing things, like when he had Wano Savin on, and Wano Savin's like pointing his camera to the gold bar.
And Snippy validated that too. He felt the same thing. He just didn't know what it meant. And you came up with maybe.
Yeah, it's a gold bar. And it was at 135 in the interview, 1.35.
Yep.
And he starts explaining how veritasium works.
It's interesting.
Literally.
It really is.
And
I mean,
links
you're
it
putting
to
the pieces
biblical
together.
principles and all this kind of stuff. So I'm very proud of my governor as well. Thank you, Governor Stitt, for banning TikTok on state employee devices and agency devices, computers, cell phones, any other device capable with internet connectivity. So he's doing what he's supposed to, which is protect the people of Oklahoma and our information that we have in Oklahoma doesn't need to go to China. And I'm very proud of him and very thankful for our constitutional governor here in Oklahoma. Yes. Little old Oklahoma.
The reddest state in the union.
Gotta love it.
Every county's red, right? I think it is. I think every county.
I thought this was a calm for me to pay attention to something because it's 72, which is the year I was born. And then it's one of those Mercedes D's that Charlie loves, those diesel, you know. And it's green. So green light, and look at the Christmas picture.
Hey.
Time to go. This was yesterday. So I was super excited. I was like, okay, let's go. Information.
It does look like Christmas green. It's like that evergreen. There you go.
Oh, well, there we go.
Another tie-in.
Another tie-in.
You know what evergreen is.
Yeah.
Santa bringing the hammer. Yeah, that was in a Trump hotel, wasn't it? I think that portrait was in maybe the elevator of a Trump hotel. It might have been Chicago, to where it had the Santa picture and it had the hammer, and they tweeted it out, and that's where that all started, I think. And actually 17 posted it on the boards. Somebody should pull that.
Santa
and
the hammer.
Santa's bringing a hammer, baby.
That was hold on, let me see if I can find it.
And I think in the actual the 17 post, it was it talked about Evergreen, who, if we know who that handle is, the witch.
Yep.
Was code Evergreen.
Trump.
HRC.
What other words would I use? Santa hammer, picture, Trump.
Hotel. Maybe elevator. Hotel. Magic torch in the house. A lot of people in the house. Paulie P in the house. Phil's in the house. Tom's in the house, as always. J-Mac, Daddy O. All the good peeps. Mitchie's in the house. Zog's in the house. Waiting for that watch.
Wait for a meetup.
I know you're thirsting for it, aren't you?
I'm creating them, like I told
Bix
live.
No, I know, I saw it
on the thing. I was like, oh no, Amy and I are dragging you out. End of January, beginning of February, we're going to do a meetup, and you're going to be there. Then I just had
Westwood wine, label on his. No, I know, I saw that. He won't.
So he won't even. His dad won't even let him have a label.
I know. It's kind of funny.
Apparently, Mr. Weir is.
You're not going to soil my wine. You're not going to dilute it in the message.
Yeah.
No, it's what it is. It stays.
Apparently, Mr. Weir is hardcore.
That's good wine, though.
I do want to give a shout out to Snippy's dad, who watches our show.
Does he? Cool.
So, yeah, I wanted to say
I remember all the stories from Snippy's dad. He was talking about. They were talking about. All the coins in 2017, and he was all fired up and excited, and just getting into crypto, and it builds that energy. It really does. It gives you
That's so cool.
Just get you going, and get you awakened. That's what crypto has done for a lot of us. It awakened us, woke up our spirit. So it's a good thing. Just
such an education. I mean, and then it's really empowering when you get educated and can regain power and control of your life and say, I have a tool. I don't have to sit here and I don't have to be the masses. Oh, well, it's just the way it is. We just have to keep paying our taxes.
Can't
We
fight
just have to
City
keep,
Hall.
yeah, can't fight the man. Yeah, whatever.
Exactly.
But we have a choice. And so it's so exciting to see, all of this. So
No popcorn for you.
no popcorn for the
No
noisy
popcorn for you. No,
Yeah.
no, it is exciting. I mean, that's don't forget that excitement and that just raw, childlike, innocent energy that you had when you first got into crypto.
Mhm.
I mean, don't let that go, because so many times that we lose that as we grow older, and crypto has been one of those things that has allowed us to just like wake up again and feel like energetic, like we can do something. Remember when you were a kid, you think you can do anything? I can fly, I can, I'm going to be a superhero, I can be
Mhm.
president, I can do all these things. Crypto is one of those things that does awaken that childlike innocence, and you should just let it happen. It's something that you got to reinvigorate yourself at some point and realize that, what, all these stodgy old nasty vampires, crusty butts that are out there running things, don't let them run it. They got no power. Just do your
No, they
thing,
don't.
just
And
take your
that's
energy
what's
away from
really
them.
being
Stop feeding
exposed
them.
in this FTX thing is
Yeah.
that they literally, everybody's like, where's the money? They don't have any. Nope. They just made up a token and then they took your money. And
Yeah,
that's what this
'cause you gave
this
it to 'em.
story, that I
Because you
shared
believed in-
yesterday.
I can't
Sorry,
stop
you go
talking.
ahead.
Sorry.
I know I'm doing the same thing. We're both so excited.
I know.
I think it's great though. You go ahead. Go for it.
Okay. And you know what deceives people, and that's all vampires do, is deceive you, because they really have no power, but they've been around long enough that they can accumulate wealth, and it looks like they're very wealthy, and you think, oh man, they must be very smart, and they've got all these things. No, it's because they've lived 1,000 years. And it's just like the people in power now. They've had families for generations, think royal family, that have accumulated all this energy and wealth from all of us. And so you think, oh, they must know what they're doing. I should worship them. I should honor them. No, you should not do that. And it's the same thing with FTX. What did they do? Hey, let's recruit Tom Brady. Hey, let's recruit these people that everybody, looks at and says, wow, these are awesome people. If he's doing it, I got to get in on this. And that's why I say you better trust yourself. They're all vampires looking to steal your energy everywhere you look. Watch the news, watch the commercials.
And
all they're trying to do is
thing. I mean, I can't tell you, I'm so thankful. I had such so I do have like my personality type is to be like have hyper responsibility for everyone, which
little bit
can be a good thing.
can be.
I love to take care of people. I love people. I love our community. And so I feel this real sense of responsibility for what I bring into the community or what I share with the community. I'm not here to shill things to you or whatever. And so, but I get hit up by a lot of different companies or products or projects or whatever. And if it's literally something I don't do or not something that I think is legit, like, or if something comes on that seems to be a problem with it, like, I'm not going to promote that. I'm not going to share that with the people that I'm building trust with. This is like, when the fire goes down, when the crap goes down, like,
right.
I would want to be able to, I'm the same person on camera as I am off camera. You meet me in person, you meet Westwood in person. We're not going to surprise you. There are no surprises, just us.
I'm here in my own bar hanging out. And it's like, there ain't nothing. It's what it is.
But that's where I'm seeing like these people that have literally sold their souls for
what?
For what? For somebody else's energy that is now being stolen and negotiated. It's on puppet strings with these people that don't even think of us as human. In the documents from when I got into, I don't have the place marked. When I got into Epstein's enterprise,
Whitney Webb. I got the book.
Whitney Webb.
You put me on to Whitney Webb.
I'm sorry. I love the girl.
How did she fly under the radar for me? I usually I know all these people are, and I totally missed her. I don't know how I did.
Man,
and then you put me onto her,
amazing.
and I'm like, this gal, I'm like,
and I love
like her.
This for me, chapter 17. Is Epstein's enterprise ? Anyway, But Ghislaine, in her testimony, or in, I guess it was, no, it wasn't Ghislaine. One of the girls testifying against her talked about how, they had flown the girls here or there. And maybe it was in New Mexico at the ranch or something. I can't remember what location they were at. But the girl said that Ghislaine told her, come up here. Because that girl had been recruited by another girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ghislaine looked her up and down and was like, yeah, you'll do for whatever. And literally treated and thought of them as not human.
Right.
Not human.
They're to be used. They're food. Mm-hmm. They're food for the vampires. That's all they are. And that's, you got to get around that. You know the truth because you've read all the books and you've seen history and you know how people have acted in fiction or history. No, that's how they are. These authors put that out there so that you could identify with that personality type. The personality type is the fact, it's the people running the show. It's the people who are pulling the strings. I mean, Hollywood, you look at the magic Hollywood, the wood that they use, to cast spells and all that. That's all it is. It's spell casting. That's all it is out there. And it's like that everywhere, though. And FTX is a good example of that. You brought it up in the interview last night, the discussion last night, is that's just a microcosm at the center of all of these other things orbiting around it. We just got a view of how they operate.
It's like a play in the playbook.
Yes, it is the play. That's the playbook. The play and they do the same things.
Over and over.
They're not smart people. They're dumb, but they know how to execute the plans. And when they have a plan, they stick with it and they do it over and over and over again. They just change the scenery. It's just a theater. And they change the background, they change the scenery, they change the characters, but it's the same thing over and over and over again. And it's human nature. Don't fall for it. Understand it. Realize what it is. Realize they're vampires. And you know what? Don't let them inside the house. Don't give them power. Don't give them energy. Stay out of the vampire casino.
And it's worth it. That's the thing is Tom Brady, God knows how much money he made from promoting FTX. I'm sure millions and millions of dollars, but he lost his soul in the deal. And I don't care if we're going through this crypto winter and we're, and I'm grateful for my Patreon that are there to support my channel. That's, taking care of my family, keeping the channel going. That keeps me going. And we're sharing energy. We're fighting for freedom because money is not about for right now. Right now is surviving. Like Bick said, get your popcorn, get comfortable, make sure your family and friends have some food and you're connected, but sit back and watch the show because we will have what we need, tools to do good, which money is just a tool. If you think of it as something you're going to hoard for yourself, that was the other thing I really liked about the Wano Savin interview. He talked about money, that it's a tool, that whole talent parable of the talents or whatever. And if you're not using it, then why would God give you any? And so I just it's more affirmation that we're on the right path. We're doing the right things. I don't care that we're financially struggling because we're shadow banned and not taking money from things that we don't really get involved with. We're going to tell the truth. We're going to support the community. We're going to build community and grow together in the most honest, healthy way to grow.
Yes.
So you may rant.
I was going to go biblical for a little bit where, it's what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? I don't know if that's in Proverbs or Psalms, but I think it's in Proverbs, but it's so true. It's because you can be bought out. You can take any amount of money. And there was a tweet that somebody put out and said, well, would you promote FTX if they gave you $15 million? And then you think about it. You think, well, $15 million, I could do a lot of this and a lot of that. But then you got to think, if you knowingly do that and you knowingly engage in that, in the fraud of stealing other people's energy, then man, how do you deal with yourself?
I have even had companies tell me, well, we know they would give me a script and they were like, they're going to offer me XYZ and
we'll give you this,
but they gave me a script there and they're like, but just don't mention that it's not allowed in the US and don't mention this and that. And I was like, Nope.
Yeah, but lying and culpability is omission of truth. I mean, if you know the truth
Yes.
and you fail to disclose it, if you fail to tell people, you're just as guilty.
You're still a liar.
You're still you're still a liar, and you're still complicit in the whole thing.
And can you imagine if you like something that you promoted that you knowingly knew?
But you look at the guy, he's shady as F. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's pretty easy to identify these people, but people just look the other way. I mean, there were commercials with Tom Brady and Sam Bankman-Fried to where, I mean, I don't know if it was a commercial, but there was a video. I remember the one where Tom Brady's talking and Sam just starts like shaking and then runs off. He's like, Sam, where are you going? Where are you going? And it's just like, if that wasn't like enough to tell you that, man, this guy's running the show and $30 billion worth of money and my pension funds invested in it. Well, seriously? Okay, one more tweet that I saw. It was, and you can put a number, whatever you want on it. This one happened to say, if you were to receive $10,000 cash, but the catch is a random person in the world would be killed or die.
Never.
Would you take it? And then you think, well, how about $1 million? How about 10 million? And see, this is the question. And the point being, this is the question that this is the question that a lot of people have answered in their minds who are running the show. Politicians have answered this. It's like, hey, $100 million? Yeah, that's all right. It's just a random person. What if I'm that random person? And that's
part of the reason that they desensitize them as people and they stop looking at us as people.
Right.
Is because there will be a cost. They have to not be able to empathize. And then what was the who was talking? And they said there's a word for it. It was Ashton Kutcher. He said there's a word for it in Hebrew, but not in English. The English word empathize means to feel someone's pain. But there's a word in Hebrew that means to share in someone's joy.
Okay, it's the opposite.
Yeah, and we don't even have that word in English.
Well, look at the word. We say, "Hey, I love you," and it's like, okay, what form of the 18 forms of love are you talking about? Are we talking about agape love? Are we talking about this love, filial? I mean, what are we talking about? Because there's different forms of love, and we all know that. It's like, "Hey, I love you," and it's like, "Well, I don't love you like that, but I do love you." And it's like. It's
with some people you have to be more clear than others.
I love you, but I don't love you that way. I've had that problem in the past, to where it's like I'm like this magnet to men for whatever reason. I don't know why. But it's like I don't love you like that, bro. You know what I mean? But it's like different languages.
I literally have the same thing with
you
women.
do too. I know.
Why.
And it's just like, no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I thought we were
but
friends.
No, not like that. Right. But you have, different, like very specific definitions of what it is. And so, unfortunately, men at bars don't understand that kind of love's not that kind of love. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, you can clear it up real quick.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I want everybody to please go watch I might try to get on. That might be a good live spaces. We could listen. How could we do that? Could we be listening to the spaces on the computer and then be streaming and then
like
us
Mystery
giving
Science
our commentary?
Theater 3000. You ever watch that? Mystery Science Theater 3000?
No, I never watched.
To where they've got these people who are watching these bad movies and then they're in the movie, but they're commenting on the bad movie. So as the movie's happening, you're like, oh, look at that. I bet he breaks an arm, and they just make comments on it. But no, it's kind of like,
I don't know. But then the stuff that they're releasing, I may lose my channel if I talk about.
True.
So maybe
on
a bad
YouTube,
idea.
If you're on YouTube, and then Twitter allows it.
I still can't believe that Bix has his original channel.
I saw that. Well, the man's got to know his limitations. When a wise man sees trouble, he gets out of the way, and he does. He's like, nope, I'm done. Backing off.
Yeah.
And he gives it time and lets it come back, and then he's been successful at dodging those bullets, those silver bullets, I guess. It's pretty interesting that he does that. Yeah. Same word, synchronicity. Owe me a Coke.
I do think that the I'll buy you a Coke anytime. I do think, except it's terrible for you and full of high fructose corn syrup, which is so terrible for you. I don't want to even get into all that.
Mexican Coke, Mexican sugar Coke. That's the good stuff. Gotta love it. But we can't do that during the cleanse. None of that stuff. We're done.
Oh, Lord,
no alcohol, no cigars, no caffeine. 21 days of pure hell. Actually, it's not. It's about 4 days. The first 4 days, once you're past that, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. Caffeine headache's gone.
Well, yes, I do have caffeine. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
My little Alanis have caffeine in them.
And once you're off caffeine, that's worse than anything. It hurts your head so bad. It's just like this vice. You made me pop out your eye for Charlie M. Anyway, that's Joe Pesci. Casino. That's how it feels.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware.
Charlie G would know.
Like people were like, "Oh, do you know this movie?" I'm like, "Don't know that movie."
Yeah, Mexican Coke has cane sugar, right? And I like it.
And I like it.
I like it a lot. But that's what Coke used to be, and it had cocaine in it in the early days. But it was cane sugar for a long time, and then you had this whole situation with I don't know, the sugar shortages and embargoes and all this crap back in late 70s, early 80s or something. And next thing you know, it's like, hey, we got all this corn, let's manipulate it and turn it into some kind of sweetener. And then the government subsidizes it. And so now high fructose corn syrup, which is not digestible and causes a lot of fat to collect in your body, is in everything.
Yeah, Dr. McDaniel did a whole
ketchup.
If you look for it on my channel, it's a van, and it says free candy, like written on the side of the van, like somebody's gonna
van with no
hijack
windows.
you.
That's high fructose corn syrup.
So if you're looking for information about high fructose corn syrup and what it does to your body, go watch that video.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Well, maybe we can, I don't know. I was trying to think of how we can't do a spaces while we're listening to the spaces, but that's not till 9 p.m. my time, at least.
Do we do a warm up?
We could meet before.
And then we all jump in.
And then jump over there.
And then we all hop into it. I know. It almost like a breakout spaces. It's like when you go to a conference, it's like the main speaker, and then you're like, okay, let's go over here and talk about it. And then go back in.
Speaking of which, I may be speaking at Bitcoin Miami.
Which is when?
April.
My daughter is like thinking she wants to be somewhere warm for college, and so Florida is kind of like the place now. So maybe there'll be a college visit. We'll see.
Oh, that might be fun.
Yeah, maybe we can make that work.
Maybe we can all stay together or something again. Then we get in trouble and the police come tell us not to sing so loud.
Especially in Florida. That free state of Florida.
Old people going to bed early. I don't know.
That's why I know, right? That's the West Coast. We should have stayed on the east side.
Oh, okay.
Southeast side, I think we're good.
We can stay up as late as we want.
Yeah, exactly.
On the southeast side. Okay.
It was funny because, I'm like, that wouldn't have happened where I live in Illinois. Kind of ironic.
No, it was very weird.
We've been here 3 times already. We're tired of this.
I know. They just kept coming back.
We're used to sitting around on our phones. We don't need this.
We're not doing anything. You're being too loud in your backyard. What?
Right.
Hanging out with our friends. Anyway.
All right.
All right. Well, do you have any other information we should share for today? I think we've hit
information. I don't know. I just ramble all freaking morning every day in the Digibug, so I don't know that I've got it.
Yeah, everybody, make sure you're following Clint Westwood on YouTube. You've been getting some good views on your YouTube channels. I always go watch them every day.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't listen, if you go to clintwestwood.net, you've got a link to my YouTube channel, you've got a link to my Twitter channel, and you've got links to all kinds of other things that you should probably take a look at, especially if you're new to crypto. There's beginner videos. There's all kinds of stuff. Go to clintwestwood.net. I get no money for traffic, or I got no advertisements. It's just like very bare bones.
This is like a hobby for us.
Yeah,
but we love it and do it with,
but if we go to a meeting,
sometimes it costs us more than
you can buy me a bourbon or something, and I'll smoke a cigar with you. It's just like I just want to.
But once again, we're investing in the future. I
Exactly. I'm
believe.
investing in humanity. That's what this is. It's investing in
Yes.
humanity for a better world for our children, for my daughters. And that's all it's about. You know, it keeps me alive, it keeps me energetic, it keeps me involved, it keeps me wanting to do better. The comments that people leave, you know, they're like, "Hey man, I just love your rants." And I'm like, "That's cool." You
Yes.
know, because all I do in the morning, and I used to be on Twitter, I used to be like polished and do a 220 video and like, Litecoin is the right coin. But it's like I got to the point where I was lazy and I don't want to do that anymore. And I get in the car when I'm driving my daughter to school, I get done, I turn on the camera. I was doing this anyway, talking to myself on the way home, ranting about stuff. So I figured I'm gonna turn on the camera. I'm gonna talk to all of you. And I'm just going to tell you how I feel today. I'm going to tell you about all the things that are going on, and maybe you'll get a nugget of truth. Maybe you'll get something that motivates you to, you know, look at something a different way. And maybe you'll say, you know what? Why do I have my money? Why's my money in the bank? Why do I have my money in a retirement fund? I can take control of my money. I don't need somebody else telling me what to do with my money. And well, first of all, it's not your money in there. So that's why you need to get it into Litecoin or silver or something, you know, that exists when the government collapses. And that's what sound money is. It's something that perpetuates itself, continues when the government fails. That's what sound money is. You still have it even though the government fails. Your retirement, you don't have it if the government fails because it's denominated. And these garbage notes that I have in my pocket, and I happen to have a dollar bill in my pocket, you know, that Illuminati thing. But, you know, George Washington even knows. Look at that. He's saying buy Litecoin.
I love it.
So, you know, these mean nothing when the government fails. They mean nothing if the Federal Reserve at the top of it, Federal Reserve note, if that goes under, they have no value. So you want to put your energy, your work into something that's going to hold value outside of all of that. And Litecoin, Bitcoin, Digibyte, silver, gold, all those things can hold value.
That is the one thing I do need to share here, right? Really quick, right before we leave. My friend that is from Kenya, he's actually or not Kenya, Nigeria. Sorry.
Nigeria, the ATMs, limits.
Yeah, the limits, and it's not just the ATM limits. They're also, hold on. I should pull
It's cumulative. They're saying $45 a day is all you can take out in an ATM. No, it's your bank account. It's any withdrawal outside of the vampire system. It's $45 a day total is all you can take out. That's it. Or they're going to start penalizing you.
And then, no, it's not or. So
they're not even giving you the 5%.
No, so my friend said literally his parents live over there still, his family's over there, all this. And he said like the banks are just stopping withdrawals. So ATM limits are $45 a day. And they've changed the color of the paper money. So like the paper money that he has here is going to be, it's only going to be good for so many, however long. He said, by the time I get back there, it's going to be worth nothing. And then, so they said, weekly cash withdrawals are now limited, without fee to, maybe you're right. That says without fee to 10,000 Naira, which is about $225 for individuals, and, about 1,125 for businesses.
Okay. So think about this. So you think
you're going to live on $225 for a week.
You're hearing $45 a day is all you can withdraw. No. That's the daily limit. The weekly limit's $225. So 45. Is that 225? Maybe it is. 180. Yeah, it might be. But it's more than that. 45 times 4 is 180. That's 4 days. So no, I mean, it's more than that. So your weekly limit's less than the daily limit. So if you think you're going to take $45 out a day, no, you're going to hit the threshold at like day 5.
Oh, check this out. What's more, in effective January 9th, they will ban the cashing of checks above $112 over the counter and ban the cashing of checks more than $22,000 through the banking system. Point of sale cash withdrawals have been capped at only $45. That's banning. Yeah,
it's illegal now. And so, okay, there's two things here, and I know you probably want to wrap this up. But I know. The one thing is, I mean, this is a good example of, and it's not going over well there, nobody wants to participate in it. They're trying to force everybody into the CBDC by doing this because they've had it out and nobody wants it. The key is don't give it power. And so you've got to have everything in your possession. You got to have everything that you need because, most people are going to say, well, F this. I don't want to deal with this. What can I use? And so that's when cryptocurrency comes in. So if you've got your wealth in cryptocurrency, you can go peer to peer. You're just like, peer to peer just means me to you. You got it in your possession. You can just walk up to somebody and say, here's some Litecoin. Boom. The Litecoin network confirms that. It's not going through the bank. It's not going through the government. It's a worldwide currency that no government can control. You have it in your possession. And guess what? You can send $45. You can send $450. You can send $450,000. You can send $4.5 million. And guess what it costs you on the Litecoin network? Less than 1 penny. And see, that's the efficiency. That's the control. That's the power that you have. It's sovereign money. It's sound money for the digital age. You can take it with you. You don't have to carry around a bunch of silver, a bunch of gold. It's something that you can have in your possession and you can transfer any time of the day, any time of the week, 365 days a year, 366 days on a leap year. There's nothing that can stop you from doing that. It is completely outside of their purview. And that is why they hate it, because they know they can't control it. They just don't want enough of you waking up and realizing that you have another option. You've got another tool on the battlefield. You've got another weapon that you can use, and they can't defeat you when you're
what's going on with that. Yeah. So in the article, it says that the KuCoin noted that 35, we know who 35 is, percent of the adult population in Nigeria own Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. But when it came to the country's central banking currency, the CBDC, the e-Naira, it was a massive failure. So exactly what Westwood's saying. Yep. It's interesting to me that at the point of this 35%, where the adult population, 35% of the adult population has cryptocurrency or some kind of crypto, that then this trigger rolls out with the CBDC, people refuse it. Now their paper dollar is changing over and they're putting limits on it. People are refusing that. And those 35%, that's more than a third of the nation can help teach and bring the other 2/3 of the nation over to freedom money.
I wish we had 35% of the people here in the United States that were devoted to saying no and using money outside their system. We're close, but that's what needs to happen. And I mean, you may lose your pension. You may lose your retirement. The thing is, get it while you can get it. Take it out of that system. Again, these are Confederate notes, man. I mean, you have Confederate bills in the system right now. When it fails, you're not going to be able to collect. And I don't care how many zeros are after the one. It doesn't matter. You got to have something in your possession that is just unencumbered by debt, unencumbered by government control. That's the key here. These Federal Reserve notes that you're holding in this vampire digital casino system have no value. So try and use them for something of value right now. I don't care if it's storable food. Something. Get something that you're going to use. Because they're going to control it and they're going to clamp it down and they're going to do the same thing that they did in Nigeria. Same thing. They're going to take away all your power. Don't give it to them.
And then they'll make it as painful as they need to for us to choose freedom, but we can choose freedom together. So you guys keep up the good work, keep up the freedom fighting, inform your friends and family, send this video to everybody you know, watch it 10 times yourself and give us a like. Make sure you're subscribed and your notification bells are on. And we hope to see you guys on a Spaces tonight, pre-party for the release of Twitter files.
Get your Twitter account going and subscribe to Litecoin Lisa and Lisa Mighty Davis and Clint Westwood and put your notification bells on there, because when we go live and we start talking, you're going to want to know.
That's right. All right, you guys have a great weekend.
Love y'all.
America's not the government, people. The America is you. It is the Grand fucking Canyon, the Rocky Mountains, the deserts of the Southwest, the Pacific fucking Ocean, the Atlantic fucking ocean. It is the grandest continent. And what the fuck have you people done? You have turned yourself into sheep, every goddamn one of you.